Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem, YAHAWASHI Bahashem Rachach. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, because those are the men that I learned the truth from through the spirit and power of Yahawah Bahashem YAHAWASHI. Yahawah is the true name of the God of Israel. YAHAWASHI is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is YAHAWASHI. And pretty much, I was watching this dude Zay Truth, which I've been watching a lot of his videos lately concerning the disease outbreak that's going on, and just different things that's being passed in the news, different laws that's being passed. I highly recommend you subscribe to all his channels, and be edified. Use his content to filter it through the Bible to edify the elect. All right, so as you saw in the opening video, you have a lot of people that's getting bad bad side effects from taking that snake venom, the so-called yab. All right, and you got people that's breaking out in different ways. Their skin is breaking out. They have some type of like organ failure, or in some cases it's fatal, meaning it leads to death. So with that, I'm going to open up with this. This is Jeremiah 17:5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man." At the end of the day, a man can deliver you, but you have to, through faith, through the spirit and power of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua, there's always balance to everything. Because you got to trust that, the apostles and the different brothers and the brothers as a whole in Greatmillstone, that those are the men that YAHAWASHI have risen up in these last days, But a man can't deliver you. And what people is doing in society is worldwide, they're putting their trust in ESAU, and he's showing his horns, Because when you read the Georgia Guidestones, they want to maintain human population at 500 million. So if there's over 8, plus billion people on the planet Earth, what's going to happen to all those people? They have a depopulation agenda. So that's what this snake venom / yab is doing to people. It's shortening their lifespan, and it's, killing them from the different side effects. Because a lot of people have health problems that they're not even aware of. So when they put, all these chemicals and stuff from the snake venom into their bodies, then it activates, all those bad things, and they get a negative reaction. So this is what these people get. You want to put mainly our people, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they trust in this devil. After he showed you throughout history that he hates you, and pursuant to the scriptures, how Esau is always going to hate Jacob, they don't get it. So they putting their trust in the individual that's only ruling temporarily, when they should be putting their trust and faith in Yahawah YAHAWASHI. And I'm referring to the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. I'm going to read again, Jeremiah 17:5. "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord." So you have 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they departed from the Lord by following the way of the heathen, keeping the customs of the heathen, to the point where, they actually think like heathen. They have become spiritually Gentiles, because they're in the Gentile state of mind. All right? But all you people that put your trust in ESAU, you trust in his different, his different things that he prescribes unto you, for you trusting in him, you're going to see that you shouldn't have trusted him when you get these different side effects. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thy enemy." When you read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, who's our enemies? All the heathen nations. But the first heathen nation that it names is who? ESAU. All right, the so-called white man in sea line, followed by Ishmael and everybody else. Sirach 12:10, never trust thy enemy. So our enemies is 2/3 of the nation of Israel, followed by, first and foremost, the heathen nations, beginning with Esau, Edom. So you're not supposed to trust them. Somebody that's your enemy, they want to see you fall. They want to see you be destroyed. They want to laugh at you. They want to say, oh, I told you, That's how these devils think. That's how wicked Israelites think as well. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So iron is bound to rust over a period of time. So what is that talking about? That's metaphorically talking about what? Esau, Edom's hatred for the Israelites. He's bound to show his hatred. Yeah, they might smile in your face. They might have a conversation with you. They might, laugh. Y'all might even chop it up. But at the end of the day, when you read Genesis, the 27th chapter, these devils pertaining to Esau, Edom, they're designed to hate the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And throughout history, that's his track record. They have designed different cunning ways to try and destroy Jacob. Though he humble himself, right? That's what he's doing now. Oh yeah, that's help the people. We want society to go back to normal. Everything is gonna open up. Everybody's gonna get that snake venom, and the sun is gonna be smiling and shining. Everything is gonna be good. Meanwhile, you got people that's getting side effects from that snake venom, and they're dying, or they have life-threatening injuries. So it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, right? He's going crouching. Oh yeah, that's help the people. That's come out with these different forms of the snake venom, the so-called jab. Yet take good heed and beware of him. Yeah, beware. You got a lot of people, they ignorant to the fact that Esau, Edom is the root to every problem on the planet Earth. All these people that's dying from the side effects, who's the one that is making it mandatory through their laws and legislation? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man in Selah. All right? They're the ones that's coming up with these laws to mandate, this so-called jab that's killing people. Clearly, clearly people are dying. Clearly people are getting different side effects, that's pretty much going to stay with them for the rest of their lives. If you took that thing, man, you're not going to be healed from that. And that's ultimately judgment from the Lord. Because the Lord said in Psalm 17:13 that Esau, Edom is his sword, punishing, the wicked. But then the scripture also going to say what? Deliver me from the sword. So the only ones that's going to be delivered from the sword and these different judgments that Yahawah is going to send upon the earth is who? The elect, all right? The remnant of Israel, which are the believers. So it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. You have to beware of him. All right, you look at society, how society is being ran. You look at the past and you look at the present, nothing has changed. All right, Esau, Edom still has that hatred for Jacob, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And the ones of you that trust in, his new world order, that trust in his system, and you trust in his different prescription drugs and his different drugs and shots that he's giving to people, you're going to learn the hard way, even if that involves you going back to the spirit world. It says, and thou shalt be unto him, right, Esau, Edom, as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. Because, when you go in the bathroom, your mirror is not going to be clean forever. It might get foggy or whatever. But then once you wipe it after taking that shower, you start seeing clearly. So you start to see that what? That Esau, Edom is the main culprit of this pandemic, and that he has an agenda behind it, which is leading to a cashless society and ultimately this being implemented. This is what this is leading to. All right. The so-called jab, that's not this right here. Because you can't say this word for word in a video because they'll take your video down. The so-called jab, all right, or yab, brothers call it different various names. That's not this. This current pandemic is leading up to this, though. So it says, And thou shalt know, right? Once you wipe the looking glass, once you see the man behind the curtain, once you see the nation that's implementing all these laws and these harsh draconian mandates, right? And thou shalt know that his rust, meaning his hatred, his characteristics for Jacob, because history repeats itself. They've shown us nothing but hatred. So why would you trust somebody that hates you or don't like you? You're not going to trust an individual like that. It says his rusts have not been altogether wiped away. Meaning what? His hatred for Jacob. So that's why they have these different, trying to come up with a word, different shots and different medicines in which they try to help the people out, try to help Israel and the other nations out. But the inward thought is what? That they want to continue forever. And they got their own agendas that's not in righteousness. It says, set him not by thee, right? Least when he have overthrown thee. And that's what he's doing through this disease outbreak. He's overthrowing people. And he's murdering people. He's stand up in thy place. That's what's going on. Neither let him sit at thy right hand. Because you have a lot of racism and prejudiceness and racial discrimination that goes on concerning cops and Israelites, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. But what does this devil do to overthrow you? He'll have George Soros fund Antifa and fund Black Lives Matter, which is ran by 3 lesbians. And then he'll have heathen nations marching with Jake, you Israelites, and he'll try to fit everything into his agenda, even though the main plot of the story is what? That Esau hates Jacob. He'll try to tie all that in with his agendas, to say that, oh, we're all one, we should all come together. That's what he'll do. He'll use your situation, which is really about you, to overthrow you. And even concerning this pandemic, that's what they did. This pandemic is geared towards the extermination of Jacob. It says, least he seek to take thy seat. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to rule forever. But what they don't realize is that they're operating on the Most High's time. They're not going to rule forever because the triumphant of the wicked is short. The Most High have set bounds that they cannot pass. But because of their pride, they think that they're going to rule forever. It says, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith, meaning remember. All right, remember history, remember our ancestors. So I'm going to end it with this. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, least Satan, which Satan obeys the Most High, but he has a physical counterpart on the planet Earth, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man in the sea line. All right, Satan is not wicked, but if you worship Satan, then you're wicked because you're playing out the action on the left-hand side, and that's what these devils are doing, as well as 2/3 in the other nations. It says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, and that word Satan is Satanas, and it means what? A Satan-like man. Because Satan's physical counterpart on the planet Earth is who? The so-called white man in the sea line, beginning with these Zionist Edomite Jews on down. It says should get an advantage of us. How will he get an advantage of us if you're not understanding how the world is going on according to Bible prophecy? If you're not linking the current events up with Bible prophecy to understand the time period that you're living in, to be able to decipher who's who, and if these different things that they come out with and give to the people, if it benefits you or not. So it says, I'm reading from the top, 2 Corinthians 2:11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, right, through his media, by using these celebrities as puppets to try and brainwash the people, right, different politicians. For we and the us is the elect of the nation of Israel, the brothers and sisters in the know. For we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant to your devices because we understand the scriptures. First and foremost, we understand Bible prophecy, and we have done our own research, looking at the Georgia Guidestones, looking at the different New World Order agendas, so we understand. So we're not ignorant, to their devices through the spirit and power of Yahawah YAHAWASHI. So they can't deceive the very elect. That's why the elect of the nation of Israel, they're not going to take no jab, and they're definitely not going to take this when it's made mandatory. All right, so I just want to do a quick video on that. The people that's dying from this disease outbreak, that's the judgment of the Lord, pursuant to Job 4:7, which, let me get that real quick. This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent." So these people that's dying, thinking that they're doing a good cause, they've been deceived by Esau Edom. They've been deceived, and that's what they get. Job 4:7, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" So these people that's dying, the Most High wants them to die. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel that died from this current disease outbreak, the Most High wants that. Why? Because they're not seeking Yahawah and YAHAWASHI. They're putting their trust and their faith into a temporary system, and they putting their trust and faith in Esau Edom, when they should be putting their trust and their faith in our God, which is Yahawah, and his only begotten son, YAHAWASHI. So it says, where were the righteous cut off? So these people that's dying, they're wicked, and the Most High is bringing judgment upon them. So, Lord willing, you was edified. Shalom.